And you want your blanket somewhere where it can slide. And then have a seat with your legs crossed. You're going to take your hands behind. I had this whole dream about this last night. And in the sort of waking hours, I was trying to see if it actually made sense. Now that I'm more awake, I don't know that it does. But it was something like, but it kind of does. It was, I mean, I guess it does. It was that the arm, the hand and the arm is like the portal into into the super highway of self. I don't know, it was really vivid and weird, but it's true. It's like we access the outside world with our hand, and then the arm hooks in and it's like, here are all our vital organs. And I don't know, it was profound in the dream. Anyway, so your hands are gonna go back behind you and they're gonna turn to 12 o'clock. You can have your legs in a cross seat, and then you're gonna have your arms relatively straight and rock from side to side like a penguin. Pull your belly button in and lift your chest. I like that everybody on my Facebook thread, I mean, it was just like agony from the debate and then articles about swearing parrots. 20 people posted that about the swearing parrots. I didn't get to watch it, but I will later. It looks like it could provide some levity. I just feel, I don't know what made me this, oh, I know, penguins made me think of parrots. So rock side to side and put a little bit of strain into the wrist. So I'm gonna let some more people in. And then turn the hands to 6 and 12. Wait, is that right? Sorry, not 6 and 12, 3 and 9. 3 and 9 behind you. And side to side. And you can move, you don't have to move as awkwardly as I did. And then turn the hands forward to 12 o'clock. And little tricep push-ups here. Let's uncross the legs, lift the bum, and bend the elbows back. Try to roll the shoulders back, keep the chest open, and push to the balls of your big toes for 4, 3, dips, 2s, 1. Lift your hips up, flatten out your tabletop, and just rock a little bit forward and back here. Just finding a little bit of tension on the front of the shoulder. Nice, you guys. And then let the bum come down. And you're going to go to your blanket. Of course, Lola is on my blanket. So in theory, you would put your heels on the blanket. I'll just go next to her. No worries, Lola. But you want to be able to slide. And let's just shake out the hands. And let the whole, pick one arm and let the shake of the wrist go up to the elbow and into the shoulder, into the portal of self, super highway. I think in my dream it was debating. It was like, it's the super highway. No. And then the other side. Okay. And then with your heel on the slidey thing, you're going to flex your feet and take them forward and back. Draw your belly in. So you want your feet to slide, and you're going to press the heels forward away from you and then draw the legs back in. Leave your bum on the ground to start, Carlton. Boot, Carlton, bum down. Legs forward and back, belly, and we'll lift the bum. Not to worry. We're just going to build to that. And slow down, sir. Slow down, everybody. I want you to really push hard into the material of the whatever your foot is on, feet are on, and drag it back so that you feel your hamstrings. If your feet are like cramping, don't worry about this cue, obviously, but if you can, flex your feet more and spread the toes. And the harder you push, thank you, Lola, into the material, into the ground, the more challenging, because this could be super easy, like I'm just cleaning my floor, or this could be really quite challenging. Pick up your left foot and just the right. And really link this to the deeper, well, all the belly muscles. It doesn't just have to be the deep ones. You could also do this with a pointed foot if you wanted to try that. Keep your neck really relaxed. And you can turn your hands to a second hand position, any of the three. So 3 and 9, 6 or 12, and then switch feet, switch legs. Push hard into the ground and really get that traction. Roll the shoulders back. Anastasia, try to like get the shoulders. Yes, girl. Beautiful. Karen, I like what you're doing back there with the elbows. Nice, nice. All right, now the Carlton. So 2 feet at the same time and lift your bum. So let's lift the bum. Take the feet out, flex and draw them back in. Clean the floors. And if it's too much on the wrists, oh, it's hard from here, but you could do it on your forearms, which is hard for sure, at least for me. But I definitely felt my calves more and my butt more. Everybody try it just for a couple, because it's fun and hard. Good. And then when you feel satisfied, bring it down. Sit on up. And let's circle the hands. Neely, did you have a cat under you for that? Raise your right arm up. Reach over to your left ear and gently draw the head toward the right. Just passive stretch. But then let's add to this. So my right hand is on my left ear. I'm going to push the part of my head, my left side, into my hand to create that sort of isometric response. I don't want to overdo this because this area for me is temperamental. So please tune into how you know your neck responds. So for me, it's super subtle. And then I want to try to slide my left shoulder head back. Ugh. Oh. Okay. And then I'm going to let that relax and add a little more passive stretch. So pull a little bit more and then press against that. Left shoulder head back. Then let's take that left shoulder forward and back. Yeah. Nice. Now slide your hand to the side of your head, to the right side, and lift it with your hand. Pause here. Breathe and let it settle. Best not to rush the neck. And then take the left arm up, reaching over to the right side and apply a little bit of pull. Let yourself get used to it and then begin to resist it. Pushing the right side of the head into the hand. Can you let that right shoulder head drop. Good, and drop back slightly without turning the sternum. There it is. Head into hand, and then relax a little bit. Breathe, and does it kind of go a little farther? And in my case, it could, but it seems like a terrible idea. I'm not going to, which requires temperance, restraint, which I'm going to try to have. And then again, head into the hand to build some strength. And then we're gonna play around carefully with that right shoulder head moving forward and back. So the one that seems as if it isn't involved, in my case, certainly is. So forward and back with the free arm. Find someplace really interesting and give it just a little more zhuzh. And then slide your hand to the side of the head, the left side, and press your head back up. Whew. And then just close your eyes for a second, let everything adjust. And with closed eyes, can you steer your spine and via kind of the landmarks of the head, can you get the hollow of your ear to line up with the center of your shoulder? Can you have a sense of the chest plate widening open like a piece of paper? Like on my left side, it's kind of it's crumpling in. Can you find a way to open all four corners of this paper? Nice, you guys. All right, good morning, everybody. I want to do one more strange thing. Does everybody have some kind, I'm sure we all have something. You can use a broom handle, any kind of sort of bar. And it really can be anything. I'm gonna get a broom, I'm gonna use this. Anything like this. We're gonna use this, and I'll show you first, and maybe you can think about it. You want it to go somewhere where it's not gonna slide. So I'm gonna use this couch leg. And then I'm gonna lean into it, and where I want it, so is into the diaphragm. And then, so we have the diaphragm and then we have the rib cage. And in between each rib is an intercostal muscle. And so it's like bone, muscle, right? Like the rib cage goes like this. And when we bend back, the ribs don't just kind of stay like that. They kind of go, they go like levolor blinds. Like they go like this way. But they don't a lot because these muscles are so stiff and stuck. But we want them to go like this, like levolor, like this to this. Sorry, this to that. It might be better if I had like a skeleton that you could see. But just think of that image of blinds in the rib cage going like this, and that it actually moves, but it doesn't a lot of the time. So what this does is we're just really gonna do the diaphragm part. We might go up just to get a sense of this. I've been doing this every day, and it's so quickly changed my neck and shoulders. I don't even know how to talk about it. And my back bends, and my understanding of the upper body versus the lower body. So get something that you can stick into your body that has a blunt edge so you don't impale no impaling. So something. And you're gonna use, yeah, Mary, that looks good. What is that? Yeah. And you could probably do it, so if it's shorter, You can do it here, but don't hurt yourself. And you want to get it right under the xiphoid process, kind of at the diaphragm. And then kind of like the neck thing, you don't want too much pressure. You just want to lean in. I don't know, Karen. I don't know if you can, oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe, maybe, maybe. And then rock a little bit. You want the fascia to be nice and soft. And just go easy. Go really easy, because there are all these vital organs here. But I'm just letting, all right, this in to massage the diaphragm. So it's that muscle right at the base of the ribs. And it's gonna feel tender. Nice, Ellie. Yeah, I think so. And then you can put your weight forward into it. And Anastasia, of course, be careful. And we would do this for a while, but we're not going to. I just want you to get a sense of it and kind of move your shoulders and head. And this will, it helped my breathing. It's helped a whole bunch of things. Okay, then we're gonna take it slightly to the left side and go up one rib and see if you can get it into that intercostal muscle. And lean into it and rub. So I'm on the left. I went just like a centimeter to the left of center. And it goes rib, intercostal, and I stuff this into the intercostal. And I'm rubbing. I'm moving my body from side to side. And you can feel it with your fingers. Like you can feel bone, muscle. And then go up one more. So you want to hop over, leapfrog over the bone and put this into the muscle. And it's like a Rolfing session, kind of, but you determine how deeply you go. And then let's skip up a whole bunch to right below the collarbone. And at the so go to your collarbone and go to the rib below it, find the muscle and press in and rub with the pole. Oh my gosh. And that is going to be tight because I think we're crossing through the pec muscle there as well. And this is where we start getting into neck issues, headaches, jaw tension, and this shows up in the lower back as well. And we can really get in there and open it. Oh. And it doesn't require much. You're just putting your weight against it. Oh my gosh. And for me, it's pretty magical. Like not magical, but just significant. Like I push here and I can feel the release all the way down my neck. Oh. So I have it like here. Then just move your shoulder around and you'll see like, oh my gosh, you'll compare it to what we just did with the neck and how when we're moving the shoulder, and you'll see, I think you'll feel that right shoulder blade wraps behind you better. The shoulder moves back, and it's incredibly quick and effective way to release neck and shoulder tension and get the shoulder head back in its right position, because we've all rolled our shoulders forward during this pandemic. Gets that shoulder back without a lot of force. Let's try the right side. So you're at the center, you're starting at the base right below the ribs, and you're gonna move over about a centimeter and a half, just off sort of to the right. And you're gonna find that first bony rib, down, it's not the first rib, but it's the first one after the diaphragm, up from the diaphragm, and go into that intercostal. And Mary, if you want, and Carlton, you don't seem to want to do this, but if you wanted to, you could do this just with your hands, or you could do this on your belly even, with something under you. But the idea is we're just trying to massage into these intercostal ribs, the intercostal space between the ribs, and get in there. You could do it with a ball, a yoga tune-up ball, a tennis ball. And carefully, I'm not in pain, you know, don't want this is non-violence. And you're just gonna lean into it until you feel that muscle respond. And then hop up, leapfrog up over the next bone, next rib into the muscle. If you want it, Carlton, if you wanted to do this without doing it, you could do bridge pose over a block and open the upper chest. So you would put the blocks underneath the shoulder blades and lie back. So this really is a trick to getting back bends to work better. So you could prime the back bend, but if that feels too risky, more like with your bum on the floor, and then just let that kind of be a arc shape behind you to open the chest. Then we're gonna skip a bunch, but I encourage you guys, I'll make a video so you can see this more up close, but to do this on your own, but we're gonna go underneath the right collarbone, go down one rib from there into the muscle, and lean in and apply some force. Our strategy for 2000, for this next election, we're gonna lean in, we're gonna apply some force. Get in there. Mary, maybe a little lower, like, yeah, right into the pec, into like pec major. And then I'm going past that, I'm going through that into the intercostal space. Oh yeah, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. And then just notice from very little how your shoulder moves now and how free the chest is. For me, it's like a big, big difference. All right, and then we're gonna come to the mat and have the blanket there for padding as an option, and have your blocks at the front of the mat, on the mat. So we are gonna do Hanumans like yesterday, but what I noticed yesterday is without having, oh, this feels so good now. It's so little work for such a big payoff. Now having this perspective of the upper body more open, as we open the legs, will there be a more interesting differential between the lower body and the upper body and the back bends that are possible? I don't have an answer. It's kind of more of a query. And then walk your knees back, hands on the blocks, and stretch back to a child's pose. And I find child's pose with the arm, especially at the top of practice with the hands on the blocks, it's a nice little added challenge for me. And I want you to feel how that exercise of opening the chest informs this shape. Is there more depth in the armpit? And have a good purchase on the block. Really get the hands on there. And send the hips in the opposite direction. Move your pelvis side to side and see if you can rock in there deeper. And maybe the arms are more willing now that there's it's like a harp, is it a harpsichord? No, it's like a xylophone, right? Like we just experimented in the xylophone area of the chest. Can you get more stretch? And it looks like you can. It looks really good. Can you feel your thumbs and turn the biceps up toward the sky? And Anastasia, at any point, if you can't breathe, whatever, modify, please. Push down into the blocks. And, oh, that was smart, Carlton, yeah. Push down into the blocks, press forward, tuck your toes, and take down dog with hands on the blocks. And if you find you're sliding, just crawl up to an edge of the block so you have more force. And push. Bend the knees if needed or not. And notice, I'm hoping that you're feeling the length of your sides maybe differently. Like there's more stretch and spread in the chest and in the side body. And nearly fire up those legs and press them back. Why not? Oh, good. Carlton, shake your head out. Shake out your head, sir. Get that moving nice and loose. And spin your biceps more toward or forward so the shoulders move away from your neck. And then lift to your toes and lower your knees down. And rise up, kneeling onto your shins. Raise your arms up overhead. And this, I think, is the trickiest part. You're going to squeeze yourself like a pig in a blanket, like really wrap yourself up tight like a grape leaf, and try to do it in one step, your right foot onto the block. So the block's at the front of the mat on the right side, and you're gonna step your foot on it. So the blanket that I recommended before now goes under the left knee for some padding. Tuck your back toes under and take your arms out to the side and to your hips. Have your thumbs at the back, at the back of your pelvis and your 4 fingers at the front of your pelvis so that you can steer your pelvis with your hands. So you could, just try it, get a sense of agency there. So when you pull up, your tailbone goes down and you get that posterior tilt. And then when you push down with your fingers and stick your butt out, you get that anterior tilt. Move your left knee back a little bit, posteriorly tip, so tailbone down, hip bones up, and push your front leg straight. So push through the block and straighten that front leg, kind of like we did sort of with the blanket. And then you're gonna pull with that foot and come into a lunge. Press with that foot, make the leg straight, pull with that foot, and work the hamstrings. So we work the quadriceps and we work the hamstrings. And this is like a joystick. I can go forward and back with pressure from my foot. So my foot is reading Braille here. It's very aware and it's in charge. Pushing the legs straight and pulling. And you could do this with the flexed foot if you want. That's a lot more power. The next time we pull forward, flatten the foot, tuck your left toes if you haven't, and lift your back knee. You can raise your arms up or leave them at the hips. See what you need, determine that. And then find your crescent lunge with your foot on the block. Squeeze, narrow the frontal hip bones toward each other, and just take a second to just feel into your soft, watery shoulders and open chest. Keep your hips at the level they are, bend the back knee, and straighten it. So working that back leg, when you lift the hips up and down, it's a release valve. So if you can, keep them level and just work into that inner groin, that most inner thigh, that medial hamstring in the, or I'm not sure what it is, but that muscle in that inner left groin, straightening and bending that leg. So keep the front leg straight and bent. Bent is the word I'm looking for. And just the back leg straightens and bends. One more, and it can be a lot, hopefully it is, especially if you're pulling on that right foot. Then spin the left heel down, warrior two, open your arms out. Yeah. And enjoy here for just a second. Let yourself enjoy this nice opening and maybe a relief, and then add tension. Pull right foot toward left and left to right, feeling that a lot of muscles, but some I want you to notice are the pelvic floor. So that canopy lifting and toning. And then take advantage of your gorgeous opening in your chest. Let it just open like a flag. Bend into that front leg and let that leg tone. It often feels like we have the knees stacked over the ankle, but we have farther to go. Push into your back foot, enjoy. Reverse warrior, flip your right palm up and side bend. And in your mind, can you feel those ribs like blinds, like you've just pulled up the blinds? They're going ching, 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 up and curving. Can you feel that gorgeous curve on your right side? And breathe into your newly released, perhaps, diaphragm. And maybe there's more awareness around the whole circumference of that area as you have a sense of separating upper and lower body. So as that upper body has more mobility, bend the right knee deeper. Yes. Now push that block and straighten that front leg. So push, yes, reverse triangle. Zip up everything you feel from the feet up to the belly button. Becca, make sure you're balanced. That looks like it's getting away from you. Nearly. And then reach your right arm forward and triangle, please. Right hand can grab the ankle gently or shin. Mary on the outside of that leg, just so you have more. That's the inside. To me, that I could be wrong. Yes. And then left arm high and open your chest up. Open that gorgeous Sally flag, Neely flag, Anastasia flag. Like open your colors. Open it, Carlton. Open it, Karen. Take that left shoulder back and let that left side of the chest open. Plug in through your feet. These are beautiful. Lean back toward me just a tiny bit, Anastasia. Yes, beautiful. Neely, feel your feet. Own them. Own those feet. Thank you. Rebend your front leg. Side angle pose. Sweep the top arm up and over the ear. And turn. Sally, keep holding the ankle, that right ankle, and sweep your left arm over your ears. Extended side angle on the right foot on the block. And reach from your back foot through your hand and turn your chest. So from that diaphragm point, turn it up. Turn it up. Yes. Now look down. Spin up onto your back toes. Bring your left hand to the block. Probably not in that order. Bring the left hand to the block. Spin up onto the back toes. Now breathe. Get strong. I think you're going to look to the right. And you're gonna think lightness in your right foot and step back into side plank. So you're gonna spin to the outside edge of your left foot and your right foot steps back. I could have it messed up, but hopefully I don't. Too much. And then lengthen your tailbone toward your heels and try to find that length as you separate, in a way, that lower body from the upper body. Open the chest. This can be modified. You could have a knee down or foot forward. Open the chest, get that right shoulder, and take your top arm over your ear, sweep it forward. Lift your hips up higher as you reach your hand down toward the floor overhead, and you're more of a C shape. Lift your hips up, bow them, and lift your rib cage up and breathe. That is beautiful. Thank you. Turn toward the blocks, plank, and make your body strong. And enjoy. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Point your toes and roll your heart through. Up dog. Stay here if you can. Push down on the blocks. Enjoy your newly long arms. And spread that upper part of the paper wider. Spread the, Bend the elbows a little bit so that you feel your triceps working. And open the chest. Gorgeous. Strong legs. Down dog. Protect your belly. Stretch it back. Yes. Long arms afford you space for your neck. So shake out the neck. Head, breathe, push into those blocks. Yes. Lift up onto your toes, lower your knees to the blanket, and take your blanket, your slide out to the right side, and put it underneath your right foot. So take your right leg out to the right, and put your slidey there, unless your floor slides without it. Put your foot on top of the slide. And then push down into the blocks so that there's some sense that your hands are evenly pushing. You're not just favoring a side. Get your neck nice and long, your turtle, sticking your head out, neck out. And then slide your right leg back, straight back, so you're in this like weird plank with your left knee down. And then slide it back to the forward to a lunge. So slide it all the way forward to a bent leg. Yes, yes. Now push that front leg straight toward like a modified split. The hips go down and the chest lifts up, and this is where that back bend starts to appear. Shoulders open, chest lifts, and you just go to where you feel safe, and safe is really important here. Now you're gonna use your hamstrings and draw that right leg back to the lunge position. And then all the way back to the plank position, straight back behind you. And then play with those three positions. Take the leg forward to the lunge, and then all the way forward to the Hanuman, the more of a split. Gorgeous. And let the hips drop, chest up. And Mary, when you're wincing like that, that's too far. That's too far. When the face is like me last night when I ate a serrano pepper, too much. And then draw back in, and then back to the plank shape. And that's probably good for now. And then bring the right knee down next to the left knee. And hands on the block, stretch back, child's pose. And take that nice deep forward fold. Big breath together and stretch your back. Exhale, reaching through those hands. Breathe into all the nooks and crannies. Nice. Come forward toward your hands a little, tuck your toes, downward dog. Long, gorgeous arms, firm the legs. Lift high on the toes, round forward to plank. Beautiful. Chaturanga low push-up. Upward dog. Gorgeous. This is a back bend too. Let that chest just open. Take advantage of that earlier work. Let the intercostal muscles spread. Downward facing dog. Inhale to the toes. Exhale, lower the knees to the mat and raise your arms up overhead, kneeling like camel, arms up by the ears. Squeeze yourself, wrap yourself up like a tight sleeping bag roll, and step your left foot up onto the block. Yaw. Reach up through those arms and then sweep the arms wide and take the hands to the pelvis. Steer your pelvis into a posterior tilt, tailbone down, frontal hip points up, and start to joystick your front leg. Pushing into that block, you straighten, and pulling into that block, you bend. And notice how, just what the mechanics of the leg are. Pretty. Nice. And like on the floor, the more you push into that block, the more you in form, I guess, or get more isometric kind of engagement or muscle engagement. It's kind of like the hamstring curl thing at the gym. Like you can really get this going. You could flex the foot if you wanted, but I think flat foot is nice. Great, great, great. And it just requires so much coordination to do this action, right? I think that's good, Karen. Especially for you, whatever feels good. But yes, that's how I want to. Karen was asking about the back toes. Are they, I think she was, I can't hear, but are the back toes tucked under? And I'm going to say yes. The next time you're in the bend, stay there and lift your back knee up. Crescent lunge, arms go up to the sky. And we hope our pelvic floor is on or turns on, and that's going to help stabilize us. And mine does not always do that. And then squeeze those outer hips like toothpaste. So that horizontal pressure, the horizontal squeezing in, allows for traction to go up. So when we change the horizontal plane, we change the vertical plane. Bend the back knee and straighten the back leg and try to keep your hips at the same height. Imagine I'm a very strict teacher and I have a ruler right at your hips and I'm like, don't go any lower or higher. And I'm gonna, in the old days they did, I am old enough, plenty old enough to remember when they actually smacked us quite hard as students. We're learning so much now that things that used to be probably weren't good. But they were interesting teaching tools, I'll tell you. I didn't forget. Can you find that back knee down? Not all the way, but lower. Yeah. Just toning new muscles. And your hands can be your hips if this is just too much with them overhead. And then spin your back foot down, warrior two. And take a few moments just to enjoy the freedom this pose may provide or allow. And check out your knee, make sure it's centered over the ankle. Like Carlton, I'm thinking your left knee could go slightly left, but I could be, again, wrong. Yes. But God knows if I'm seeing it right with the thing. There's a lot of camera trickery. And Neely, I'm wondering about that knee being more over the ankle. I think it feels like it is, but it's like actually not really. And then push through that back foot. Yes, that looks lined up to me. And then reach forward and reverse warrior. And so flip your left palm. And please squeeze your feet toward one another. So you get that really juicy isometric contraction and pelvic floor toning. And then as we release that diaphragm before, just get in there and get that left arm nice and straight. I want that left elbow straight if you can do it. And I'm guessing, Sally, yeah, that wants to even go farther. Like your right hand wants to reach your right ankle, if I had to guess. Good. Yeah. And breathe into that left side and your right shoulder. What can we liberate that guy, that back one? Yeah. And then push through your front leg to straighten it, reverse triangle. Reverse triangle. And zip up your legs, make them so strong. Beautiful. And then make your way, please, slowly, gracefully to triangle. Push down through that front foot for security. And the right arm goes up. And I'm going to give you guys a second before I start giving corrections, because I think you all know where this lives. You just need a minute to find it. Do you remember the instruction of the hollow of the ears over the shoulders? Would that be useful here? Yes. And if you were to draw a straight line from your tailbone through the center of the skull, and then from your middle finger to your other middle finger. Yes, these are looking amazing. Beautiful. Wow, I just got the shivers. Okay, good. And then bend your left knee and sweep your top arm over your ear, coming into extended side angle. Fierce legs, y'all. Push into your feet. Make that magic happen. Reach from the back foot. Shelby's gonna have to wait. And reach out through those fingers and turn your left ribs up toward your right ribs. Sally's on fire. She's got her left arm forward too. And bow your ribs up and then reach your right hand down to the block on your right side. Spin up onto your back toes. Get light in your left foot and step right into a gorgeous side plank. Roll to the outer edge of your back foot and step your front foot back. You got this, you guys. So that work we did in opening the chest shows up here. Can we get that chest to open? And does that allow that right shoulder blade to kind of move onto your back, slide there into with gorgeous ease, more ease is what I'm trying to say. Take that top arm over the ear, if it'll go. And when it doesn't go, going down to up, some of you have already figured that out. That's a great trick. Lift your hips higher and bowstring your left side. Is that your left? Whatever side's on top, left one, I think, and feel that bow. And head even points down toward the floor. Yes, beautiful, guys. Feel that stretch. And turn toward the mat, plank it, and lower your knees. Take the slide over to your left foot, place it on the left side of your mat, and take the leg out to the side, and then behind you. Slide it back. And then slide it forward to a lunge. And then all the way forward to some kind of Hanumanasana variation. So start to straighten that left leg and drop your tailbone, posterior tilt. Remember your hands, imagine they're adjusting your pelvis up and lift your chest up. Find that back end. Gorgeous, you guys. And then you have enough hamstring ability to pull it back to the lunge. So fire those hamstrings and back to the plank. And do this maybe one or two times more. Work at your own pace. Don't rush. There's so much gold here to find. Right, we've all gone. Well, some of you started west, some of you were born here, but there's something here, that gold mining spirit's haunting us still. Find the gold within. Nice, solid gold. All right, and then when you've gone back to the plank shape, lower the knee carefully. Let the body realign and adjust as you stretch into child's pose here with the hands on the blocks. Nice deep fold of the hips, letting everything recuperate and integrate. Breathe. Breathe a whole bunch into the ribs. So the back ribs we didn't get to, but I have noticed that working into the front shifts the back tremendously. Can you get more air there? There's so much of our the material of our lungs are in the back. Is there more ease there? Downward dog. Roll forward to plank. Gorgeous. And chaturanga variation, or straight up with the blocks. Upward dog, make it glorious. Let the flag open, left shoulder, very careful of that, whatever is happening there. And then tuck your toes, down dog. Sometimes when we change things, even for the better, other things are like, I'm not used to having so much stability. Right leg goes high. Enjoy that freedom. See how high that leg wants to go. It might want to go quite a bit. Draw the knee to the chest, round, and place the right foot at the top on the block. Now you got a hand issue there. I don't know, maybe that wasn't a good suggestion, but see if you can get that right foot up onto the block. from wherever you are, and rise, crescent lunge. Be mindful that this is a wild entry point. That's a bit of a doozy. So take it slow, adjust as needed. You could always have your back knee down and go back to that place. Breathe. Good, hands to the hips. So take the arms out and to the hips and straighten and bend that front leg, joystick it. And you guys are going slowly, which is smart. The more pressure you get down into the block, the better. Stay in the lunge and straighten and bend that back leg without the hips lifting higher or lower as much as possible, which is a tricky thing. Warrior two, open the chest, enjoy the flat back foot, and pull your feet toward each other. Find that isometric contraction. Nearly, yes. Reach forward, reverse warrior. We'll move more quickly. Enjoy that slide. Breathe into the right and left lung. Push into the joystick of your front foot. Straighten that leg, reverse triangle. Triangle pose. Right hand down, left arm high. Beautiful. Bend the right knee, extended side angle. Top arm reaches. Left hand to the block, spin to your back toes. Nice and slow. Right hand to the right ankle. If you'd like, if it feels doable, pick up the right foot. This may have to happen in stages, and move towards side plank tree, placing the right foot into tree on that left inner thigh. Maybe you modify this, maybe you don't. Get into it this way. Take your time. If it's possible, that right arm lifts. If you're stable, you could do this lying on this, you could do this right on your side, or get off the block if it's too tricky, which it might be. You could lift your right knee up if it's going all right, and take that top arm forward and keep lifting the knee and hips higher. You're like that gorgeous tree that can somehow thrive on its side. Right hand to the block, stay in tree if it's possible. And yes, stay right there. And step that right foot out to the right. Can you get to your blanket? I don't know. If not, lower your left knee carefully and then put that under your blanket. My bad. We should have preset that. My bad. I apologize. And then play with that game of moving toward those three positions, except I'd like your left knee up this time. So if it's possible, that left leg stays in plank and you work the right leg. Plank position, lunge position, wide Hanumanasana. When you get to the Hanumanasana, chill there. Let the hips drop, let the chest open, and find the back bend. And this is what I'm really intrigued to, or into feeling, is that as we move into Hanumanasana and let the chest lift, can there be a sense of lightness in the diaphragm and ribs and let the chest open? Turn your Bluetooth off or something. Okay, keep going, you guys. Hold on. And when you've had enough, come into child's pose. Yeah, and I'm curious, and you can kind of tell me later, but if that felt differently with that chest work in the beginning, because I don't know, for me, there's so much tension. I don't know, there's so much locked in because the the psoas go through the diaphragm. So when the diaphragm's locked, the psoas get locked, and then my split, or that connection to the top of the thigh, is hindered. So when I release the diaphragm, everything in the lower body flows more easily and the upper body opens more easily. Push down into the blocks, come forward slowly, and down dog on blocks. Left leg. So I noticed it didn't go well stepping where the hand in the block was. Is that hard? I'm not trying it. Maybe you need to take your hand off the block for this transition. I'm not sure. So you guys tell me, but left leg up. And maybe the hands come off the block, maybe not. And lift that left leg high, like a standing split high, like see how it goes. And I don't know, can you feel that length in the psoas, that length, and use your glute to lift the leg? And then draw your knee to the chest, and can the left foot go on the block right from there? Or is that really hard? Okay, yes, I think it's doable. Good, inhale, rise, crescent. Take your time. It could be wobbly. If that block is too much, just get rid of it. Reaching up, can you find that separation? It feels like you're getting more upper body space, y'all. Arms come out to the side and hands come to the pelvis. And joystick the leg forward and back. And really feel that confidence. That trust in your own body. It's like a high wire a little bit, yeah? Warrior two, spin that back heel down, open the chest nice and wide. Beautiful. Oh, that was powerful. Pull the feet toward each other. Reach forward, reverse warrior. Push into that front leg and straighten that front leg. Reverse triangle. Can you feel all the way to the tippy toe of that left big toe? Beautiful. Triangle, left hand forward, right arm up. Know your feet. Lean slightly back. Beautiful. Bend your front leg. Parsvakonasana, side angle. Right arm overhead. Reach. Carlton, I don't know, but what if you pushed into your back foot? Yeah. Good. Right hand to the block. Spin to your back toes. Tree pose, side plank. Pick up your left ankle. Take your time. Place the foot somewhere along your supporting leg or modify. Go back to an earlier version. Anything goes. Top arm up. Top arm over ear. Lift that left knee to the sky. Send the hips up, left knee up. Just let it be this glorious expression. Beauty. Plank and tree. And then you're going to step your left foot forward and adjust that. Throw your blanket over to the other side. And play with those three shapes. Plank pose, lunge pose, Hanumanasana. And I ask that you slow down a little bit, y'all. You are speed racers. Can you feel your way through each posture, each sort of landmark? And when you get to Hanuman, Carlton and Mary, so everyone, I want the hips to drop forward and the chest to lift. So that's a different torso. Yeah. So when the leg is forward, like a split, the tailbone comes down and the chest lifts up. I'll show you what I mean. So this one, I want your hips to come down and your chest up. This one is like a lunge. This one's a plank. But this one's a back bend. Nice, 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 nice. And one more time. Nice. Pick any of those three that you want to hold for a moment and hold. Protract the shoulders, Mary, and lengthen the neck and relax. Yes, beautiful adjustment. Frontal hip points forward. And then make your way carefully, gracefully, lovingly to child's pose. And this time, take your hands off your blocks and bring them back by your feet. True Balasana, or Adho Mukha Balasana. Hands by the feet, a little ball. And breathe into your back. Breathe into your shoulders. Pull your belly in and roll up. Cross your ankles and come onto your back. Have your blocks with you. Have something for your head with you. And then you're going to lie down onto your back and hug your knees. Hug your knees in. Let's circle the knees apart and together. We did a lot of forward and back. Let's just get this integrated here. And switch directions. And then plant your feet on the ground. Tip your tailbone away from you so the feet are flat. Roll to that posterior tilt and take it right up into a bridge. Draw your shoulders under, push through the ground. Raise your hips high. Firm your belly and let the chest open. Engage your triceps. Just notice today how this feels. And then widen the shoulders, descend slowly. Rock the pelvis forward, anterior tilt. Rock it back. And if you're curious to try Urdhva Dhanurasana, a wheel pose, I'm going to say go right up in. Take your hands behind your ears and press on up. And I'm so curious how this feels to your body today. Let the chest just open and expand, and bridge is also great. And I just love this idea of the ribs moving, being like blinds, that it's not just a static, hard casing. It's these things that fold toward each other. And then bring it down when you feel ready. Beautiful. You're going to roll to the side, and we're going to take that same adjustment we did yesterday. So we're going to have the blocks together. And if you only have one, that's okay. We're going to have them on, I'm going to say the lowest setting. And they look like this, just side, like a train track. And those are going to go under my shoulder blades. Then I want a pillow for my head, because for me, that's way too steep of a back bend for that one. So I have my blocks here, and then a pillow for my head, and I have this awesome buckwheat thing that you guys know I'm into. And if you have a eye pillow, this is a good time to get that. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Put the shoulder blades onto the blocks and get them on there nice and flat. And the blocks are helping to hold the shoulder blades in that position. And then support the head. Oh, it's so nice. As you take the head back, interlace your fingers and spin the palms back. Press through the soles of the feet And really get that clarity. You're a clear diamond. You're the, I don't know what level, this is how diamonds are categorized, but you're the clearest kind. And interlace your fingers and press the hands away from you. And then bend the elbows, switch the cross of your fingers, and press the hands away from you. And then bring your arms down by your side and let the chest open. Not by your side, but sort of right outside the blocks. Like if you lifted them, you'd be hugging your arms around a tree. And let all that tissue of the chest, the ribs open. Bathe your body in oxygen. Feel the feet just kissing each other. They're pushing into each other. The soles of the feet have all this awareness from all that block work. And you might really be feeling that drop off from the diaphragm deep into the lake of the belly.
Come out.
Okay, just leave it.
Up there.
And you can stay here for Shavasana, or you can roll to the side and come off the props and stretch all the way out. Whichever feels best for you. And find that peaceful transition to stillness. Take a deep breath. And exhale, sigh out. Breathe in deeply. Release any stress, any stories that are pulling you out, if there are any, at this moment. Breathe in deeply. Exhale. And let go. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Inhale. Get into all the nooks and crannies. Breathe it all the way in. Exhale. Sigh it out completely. On your next breath, yawn and stretch. Reach your arms back, careful of props, and legs out straight. Slowly transitioning, reach through your fingers and toes. Enjoy this moment of returning, coming back to life. Draw your left knee in and roll off the props if you're on them. Roll to your side. Curl into yourself, tuck in and breathe into your back. There may be a lot of awareness there now. And then push down through your left hand and rise to a seat. Raise your arms up. Fold your hands down to a prayer at the heart. Maybe we came a little closer to knowing the space of the heart today, just a little tiny bit. Maybe we don't know the heart space, but maybe we know the space around it, which protects the heart a little bit better. Tune in there. That sensation when we move into those back bends. The relationship between the protection of the heart and the heart. Feeling into that space, using the resonators of the body to move the sound. We'll take one Om together. Inhale. Lifting the thumbs to the forehead, connecting heart to mind. Sealing in your practice, bowing forward to yourself, to one another. Thank you for taking this time this morning. Thank you. This is important work to keep yourself clear, to keep yourself open and present. Getting more and more important by the day. We need everybody awake. Thank you so much, you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. Love you all. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll talk soon.